Hello, we have here Javid. He's a filmmaker from Iran, and we have just seen his movie Lullaby, and now we will ask some questions about his professional career, his interests, and film industry in Iran. So, Javid, how are you?
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone in beautiful Aruka. I'm sorry that I couldn't be with you physically, but I want to thank Maria and all the team of the festival for presenting my film there. I hope that you enjoy it. And I'm really happy to have this interview with Maria, and maybe we can discuss our cinema and similarities together. Yes.
So, Javid, why did you decide to be a screenwriter and a filmmaker?
Well, I grew up in an artistic family. My father is also a filmmaker. And I remember when I was a child, I used to go with him on his sets, on his film sets, and all the film events in Iran. And I was always fascinated by the community, you know. And besides from that, I only felt that I can sense and understand life or express myself through the language of cinema. So that was the most fascinating for me.
Wow. So you like to tell stories and your own stories through cinema, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
It's a even healing process, I would say, in some cases.
You know, I think everyone, you know, has their own way to express themselves, and for me, the art is the best way, and the cinema is the most complicated way to express yourself, because you can tell everything just with a look in the eye, and this is very, very, very interesting for me.
And who are your filmmaking influences?
My filmmaking influence is a very hard question. You know, yes. I cannot mention you know, any names, because I'm fascinated by every good films that I watch. I can get influenced very easily, even with bad films. With watching some scenes, I can really get influenced, get emotional, and this kind of stuff. But if I want to say any names, I can say Iranian filmmakers like Abbas Kiarostami. I don't know if you heard about him or not. Asghar Farhadi, he has won 2 Oscars, I think. And many names like Kurosawa, Japanese filmmaker, Belatar, Kubrick, and this list goes on and goes on. It's really hard to mention just one name.
And as a filmmaker, what do you think are the toughest aspects of making a film nowadays?
Well, there are many challenges, you know, making films, but I think the most common challenge in the whole world is that is that it's really hard to find a budget and the, you know, necessary funds for your film. So every project you have to try really hard, no matter what you did in your last project. It's really hard to get the funds, especially after the COVID and this financial situation goes around the world. It's really challenging, yes. But nevertheless, this is the way that it works. We have to try, always try.
And imagine that a young boy or girl wants to be a filmmaker, wants to be a filmmaker, but they don't have the funds or the enough money, you know, to make their film. Which advice would you tell them to accomplish their goals?
Well, you know, first, to be honest with themselves, when you choose a path of cinema for your career, you should know already that it's going to be tough and hard. But the main thing that you should always have with yourself is to have a confidence and never give up, you know, to believe in yourself. You know, there are many downsides in this route. many heartbreaking moments, but you should never give up. If you believe in your goal, trust yourself, that's what you're doing, you will achieve it.
Okay, yes, I agree. Yes,
So,
you don't surrender one way or another. In the end, you will
yes.
manage. So,
And I have to add that many great filmmakers started their careers with very small films, but the films were great and still are with us. So it doesn't have to be many, a great expense of money, great amount of money and biggest expenses. With the small money you can do great also.
yes, and
now creative. Yes.
Yes, exactly. Yes. In fact, now you can even record movies with a mobile phone, and yes, technology. It's also like a good way to try to make things without having a lot of money. Yes.
Yeah.
And how would you define the style of your films? For example, we have seen Lullaby.
Yeah.
Maybe you can, like with Lullaby as an example, tell us more or less which is the style, or we have seen it, we have seen the style, but how would you explain your style?
I try to be honest in my films, and based on the characters in the story and the atmosphere of the story, I try to choose how to make the film. But I love minimalism, I like the simplicity, I like no exaggeration in the films, and to show the life with, of course, dramatic elements, but as simple as it can, no exaggeration, as I said. This is my favorite cinema,
Okay. And do you think that cinema is a powerful tool to make people reflect about social conflicts or personal problems?
Social conflicts and personal problems.
Yes. Do you think that the film cinema is a powerful tool to make people reflect about, for example, nowadays in Europe, we have the war in Ukraine. We also have other wars in other parts of the world. Also, people struggle with personal issues. I don't know.
Yes, it's a very powerful tool, but it doesn't necessarily have this duty, I think. You can or you cannot. It depends on an artist, because some artists just try to express their, I don't know, their own stories, but it is a powerful tool to help us connect to each other, to understand each other, sympathize with each other, to put ourselves in other people's shoes, and it's really, when you see films, for example, you see my film, I think you can understand that we share many similarities, emotional similarities, we share many concerns, and this is the beauty of cinema, that we as a human understand that we are all the same, we all face the same problems, we all face the same challenges, we all enjoy the same things, and we all need love. This is very good. Yes, this is very good to help us to connect each other.
Yes, I agree. And what make Iranian films different from the rest of Europe? For example, you have to define Iranian films. What would be your definition?
Well, we share many similarities, especially with European films, but I think because of the difference between the equipment in Iran and Europe or America, our filmmakers learned to make their films in a very simple way and with basic equipment, with no great amount of money. And this is I respect it a lot, because we have learned how to manage it. For example, in my film, I didn't have any sound recorder, any set designer. All the sounds you hear on the film is made in the studio after shooting, and with very basic elements. But the main difference, I think, is that because of the difference between our cultures and situation in Iran and Europe, situation of filmmaking especially, is that we Iranian filmmakers, we are more symbolic in our films. We have to be more symbolic, and we say our stories with more indirect and hidden, unseen layers. So when you see our films, it can get really complicated. It's a very complicated film. It seems simple, but it's very complicated because it has many different layers that you have to pay attention. And we have learned to make films this way.
Okay, but that's a positive thing, because that makes a difference with other type of films from other parts of the world. I mean, it makes, like being filmed like more maybe poetic or more symbolic, as you have said.
Or poetic, or poetic or political, social. You can even in my film, I don't know if I've managed to show it, but if you look at it very deeply, for example, watch it seconds, I have many different themes in it, and especially Iranian audience understand it because they live in the same situation that I do.
Yeah, I understand. And what are your next projects as a filmmaker?
As a filmmaker, well, my
writer, because you also write, you told me so.
My main major is writing, actually. I have written a feature film, but somebody else is going to direct it. I hope it happens in the next fall. But my personal project that I'm going to direct is a short animation, which is going to happen, which is going to happen in October, I think. Yes, in October, I'm going to start the process of making it, because now I'm very busy with the festival, and I work in Tehran for festival, so I have to stop it and start it after that.
Okay. Oh, so congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's great. Okay. So, well, I don't know if you would like to add anything else about your work, or I don't know, anything related to cinema or whatever you wish to say.
First of all, I want to thank you for making this opportunity. And I'm sorry for my bad English. Sometimes I forget what I was going to say. But I really enjoyed it. I'm really happy that I can present my film in Portugal. I hope one day I can be there also, and you guys also can come to Tehran. We have a very big society of filmmakers, especially in short films. And this is when everybody comes to Iran from other places, they get surprised at how many film enthusiasts we have in Iran. So if you find an opportunity and find it interesting, you're more than welcome to come. And I hope that we can have more collaboration with Portuguese cinema. I personally admire it very much. Thank you.
That would be great. Thanks to you for your time and for everything. Congratulations again for your amazing work that you are doing.
Thank you.
And we will see you next year.
Hopefully. Thank you very much.
With your next projects and your films. Yes.
Yes. Thank you, and have a very beautiful festival and enjoy every moment of it. Thank you.
Thanks to you.
Thanks. You. See you later.
See you. Bye. Okay.